Hello and welcome back to another video. It's Halloween! And in today's Halloween episode, we are renovating the Pancake household to look like they've been in a zombie apocalypse. Well, they have been in a zombie apocalypse. Terrific zombies have taken over town. And we are, I would say we're like 3 weeks into the zombie apocalypse when this Pancake house was, I guess, seen. Like, it'd be about 3 weeks when this is finished. You should see the kitchen. They've absolutely trashed it. And I just thought, we'd talk a little bit about the house for a while. They had some terrible designing when they were doing it. They decided that they would stay downstairs. Which, I mean, who can even begin to describe what a silly decision that was? And then on top of that, they are still using the bathroom upstairs. So they might as well have just used the bathroom in the first place. And they really tried a lot. They didn't do a great job here in the dining room. I think this was more out of like extreme stress that they decided to do what they did there. And no one can answer this question. How did they get that barbecue up the stairs in such a hurry? But anyway, I thought I'd just talk a little bit about what inspired me to do this in the first place. And the answer is my love for zombies. I love zombies. Zombies are the bee's knees, and I think part of what makes me enjoy zombies so much is just that I don't think they're ever really going to happen in our lifetime. Like, I'm not too worried about zombies breaking in and taking over and stuff. So I feel like zombies are very much a fantasy because they're not really going to happen at all in our lifetime. And so I really enjoyed making this challenge. I've really enjoyed making the zombies. And I completely finished the asylum challenge. Well, I finished getting the asylum challenge ready to record. And oh crikey, I'm so excited to show off that asylum build because it's an abandoned asylum and it does actually look real creepy. So I'm super excited to show that off and have a little bit of a squiz at that. On other news, I thought I would just talk about how I, personally, would survive the zombie apocalypse. So, as you'll know, I live all the way down in New Zealand, not Australia, New Zealand. It's a little place next to Australia. And here we sort of live out in the middle of nowhere. So I feel like there's a small chance the zombie apocalypse may not even hit New Zealand because we are so far away from the rest of the world. But that could be very unlikely. So in case we did, I think I would just, I don't know, I think it's so hilly here, maybe you could just move up a hill. I do think a small part of me may not survive the zombie apocalypse, as I don't know, I just don't know if I've necessarily got what it will take to survive such a vicious attack on New Zealand. But I think my goal would be maybe to move back into my old flat, because it was up a hill and it was a bit hidden in trees and it was 2-story. I think that might be a really cool place to live in because you could sort of see the street from down below, so you'd be able to survive a little bit more up there. I think that would be a really good plan. But in the same respect, it is quite far away from everything else. Ooh, how well do zombies walk up really steep hills? Because we could live up, I think it's called the steepest street in the steepest residential street in the southern state, in the southern hemisphere. So I could get into one of the houses up on that street here in New Zealand and head on up there and live at the top. That could be a pretty good idea because I don't think it'll be very easy for zombies to walk up super steep hills because we struggle with it. Oh, and you might get to watch zombies roll down the hill from the top because they'll like trip over their little feet and they'll just roll and roll and roll. And that could be quite fun. You could put up like some little traps that make the zombies trip over so that you don't have to deal with them at your front door. So that could always be a really good option for surviving the zombie apocalypse. So, I would think for this particular family, I think Eliza and Bob would be sort of wanting to make their life mean a little bit more because they are, I mean, we've all read the description. They weren't the happiest couple before the zombie apocalypse broke out. And then when it did break out, it was just the two of them crammed in this tiny house for hours on end. And I think it drove them a little mad. And I believe, personally, that they decided they wanted to have a child. And so, you know, a year from now, they'll have a little baby in their house as well. So I thought that would be a really cool twist, is having a little baby running around their property, although I've never understood how a baby would ever be a good idea for a zombie apocalypse. And we are about to move on to the creator sim. And in this creator sim, I thought, originally I wasn't going to do a creator sim because I didn't see the point in changing up clothes to look like apocalypse clothing, especially since we don't really have apocalypse options. They're not great options here. Everything looks very pristine and nice. We don't have a lot of ripped, destroyed clothing. So my initial thought was to not bother. And then I ended up deciding I was going to do it after I did the Goth family, because the Goth family looks so atrocious. So I came back and I redid the Pancake family, and I ended up giving them mostly the same outfit every single time, which I was both on the fence about and kind of glad. I was a little disappointed because I thought it wasn't the most exciting thing to do, to give them the same outfit, but I also thought it's very realistic. So for the Pancake family, they were not great planners. They sort of locked themselves out of their own bedroom because they've only got 1 or 2 outfits that they can even choose to wear. And I mean, I guess they could go up there, but it would make a lot of noise trying to get into their wardrobe and stuff. So the Pancake family did decide that they would just sort of wear 1 outfit, which is pretty realistic for the small percentage of zombie goers, I think. And we are about to hit up the screenshots, and these are the final screenshots for the just for the creator sim, since we've already had the house ones. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this build, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay toasty. Bye.